you ready, Rockford? All right. Oh, hello. It's you. What are you doing here?
Oh, there you are. Okay, so now it's just Roman we're waiting for.
Oh, what a shame.
What held you up?
Well, you know, ice, cars, tyres. Looks like you've started anyway.
Look, so I've got America on the phone. Miranda is the only other person involved in the deal other than you. Like, she's about to do her speech. Do you mind just taking it? I promise I'll let her know.
Oh, you beat me to it. What are we looking at? Well, the victim's name is Roman Bridger. He was discovered by a family this afternoon. I think CSI say he's been dead for a couple of hours. All right, walk me through it. Okay.
Hey.
Amazing what you've been doing.
Okay, Miranda. So Arthur has arrived. He's taking the call from America while you do your speech, so that's fine. Speaking of late arrivals, any news on...
What a fabulous evening we've planned. You've come so far, Miranda. But do you remember those early days at CTA? Honestly, I was so ambitious. I'd have killed for your job.
Goodness, Rockford. You don't smell as nearly as musty as I remember.
Miss Osborne's ready to start her speech.
Oh, great, okay, I'll prepare the room. Can you go and get Roman?
Where is he?
Is he not here? You're the one who was at the door.
I thought you might have let him in.
No, oh, God.
Right. Are you sure you haven't seen him?
No, of course not. I'm not just pulling your leg.
Right, okay, I'll call him. It's gone to answer phone.
What do you mean? Isn't he picking up?
Maybe he's in a tunnel?
The train I booked for him was meant to arrive in Cambridge at past. He shouldn't be on the train anymore.
Oh God.
All right, you call him again. I'll check the train company and see if he's scanned out of the station yet.
Okay.
It's saying he hasn't even scanned into the station yet.
What, do you mean he's missed his train?
He hasn't even been to the station.
In all my years at the Otterbourne Agency, I've tried not to think about a time when I would see it fit to step away. And yet, as my library of unread books grows and the world seems to move faster and faster every day, the winter solstice, a time of peace and endings and new beginnings, felt like a good place to start a new chapter. Some of you have suggested that I lessen my role at the company and give myself space to adjust. But I always believed that one should face the changes in life head on, with spirit and solidarity. And so, here we are, on the cusp of a new life for me and a new path for the Otterbourne Agency. A night that would be incomplete if not for the presence of my friends. Delilah Drake, one of my oldest friends, I'd like to thank you for helping me get my start in the business. No one in this room would be half as successful if it were not for the CTA and the lessons it gave me. Arthur Anderson, our Chief Operating Officer. As one of the most dedicated businessmen at the agency, it's no surprise that he's had to skip my speech to continue negotiations with our friends across the pond. Helena Heathers, our greatest client and one of this country's greatest treasures. I look forward to seeing where the Otterbourne agency takes you next and where you take us. Paula Goodman, the finest lawyer that money can buy. Although your love of the work and friendship beyond it assures me that you pay us the respect that you do not out of a hunger for compensation, but a passion for the art. And lastly, my assistants Andrea Marsh and Emily Sayers, who have no doubt saved the agency from countless catastrophes over the years. This, of course, brings me to the man of the hour. When deciding who will be most fit to lead the Otterbourne agency into the light, I was certain that my successor would have to be someone who I not only trust dearly, but who understands the skill and dedication that it has taken me to grow our business over the years. It is therefore a great pleasure to welcome to you the new CEO of the Otterbourne agency, my good friend and esteemed colleague, Roman Bridger.
Where is he?
There was an issue with the train. Oh, that'll be him now.
Yes. I'm sorry, you're interrupting a private and important event. You're going to have to come back later.
I'm afraid this is an official investigation and I'm going to have to ask you to step out of the way.
Excuse me?
Just who might you be?
My name is Detective Inspector Chris Marpool.
And what gives you the right to interrupt us like this?
A crime has been committed. And as of this moment, everyone in this house is considered a suspect. I'm here to begin questioning.
What crime?
The murder of one Roman Bridger.
Look, my flight to Tokyo is in 6 hours, and I have an alibi. I can't honestly be a suspect.
Thank you for your cooperation, Miss Heathers. I'm sure you understand the gravity of the situation.
I do. But I was at my country club, as I always am on a Sunday. Arthur and Neil's rivalry is clear to anyone with a brain. No prizes for solving this one.
Can anyone verify your whereabouts?
Absolutely. You can check the CCTV at the reception. I assure you it's impossible for me to have any involvement.
We'll make some inquiries and let you go once we can, but I'd advise your assistant to make alternative travel plans. We have no more questions at this stage. Thank you.
So I suppose you're going to want to know where I've been. If they found out, okay, but fine, please just don't tell anyone. I've been on a bird watching trip for singles and I just got dropped off here by minibus. I actually got changed in the loo. But you can't tell a soul, please. My reputation at this company for being blinkered to my work is vital for my career. If they found out I wanted more from life,
Look, you seem to know what's going on around here, don't you? And if you can help us out, we will not tell a soul.
Okay. It's funny. When you've worked somewhere for as long as I have, you think you know everyone? Through and through. I mean, Roman could be annoying and constantly got promoted just due to arrogance alone. But to the point that someone would want to kill him. I mean, to be honest, most of us had money on Arthur taking the reins from Miranda. And I'm pretty sure he thought he'd do a good job of it as well. He made no effort of hiding the fact that he wanted to get Roman fired repeatedly. That is, until he realised Roman had tenure in the company. Roman was a sort of favourite of Miranda's, you know. She even let him walk Rockford Mind, and she's really precious about that dog. But please trust me, I've known Arthur years. He'd never kill anyone.
Can you tell me where you were between the hours of 3 and 6 this evening then?
I was at the office, speaking to Delia Drake.
And can anyone verify this?
Mrs. Drake, and the office CCTV. And she took the call at 4:30. I'm sure you could check with the phone company.
Did you catch the name of who she was speaking to?
They didn't say. It was very short. I tried not to listen.
You arrived at the beginning of the party tonight, correct?
Yes. Delilah and I felt it was important to be there on time.
Did anyone arrive worried, acting strange maybe?
I'm not sure about people acting strange, I can't say. I know them very well. But there was a very late arrival.
Go on.
I can't quite remember his name, but it must have been a good hour after we started. Just before Miranda was going to give her speech, indeed.
Did you get a look at him?
Oh, I remember now. Miranda's assistant greeted him as Arthur.
You understand then?
Yes.
Can you tell me where you were between the hours of 3 and 6 this evening then?
I was here, setting up the party.
Anyone to vouch for that?
Well, I was working alone for the most part, but Emily came in around 5:30.
We were working together from there.
You were working alone? So how did you get in?
Oh, both of us assistants have keys to all of Miranda's properties, just in case we need to do something when she's not in.
Your job is quite demanding then.
No more than any other industry. I'm sure that Roman and Arthur would tell you we have it easy.
And you've never felt an urge to react, to take them down a peg?
People that think that way don't succeed in this industry.
You have quite a unique position in the company. You see a lot more of the goings on than your employers. Have you noticed anything odd recently?
Odd. No, I mustn't.
Please, Miss Marsh, consider the situation. One man is dead already. Let's not let this go further.
I was doing a final sweep of a meeting room one day and I found a phone. A stream of messages popped up, demanding messages from Roman.
Demanding?
Threatening to release something.
And who did the phone belong to, Andrea?
Arthur Anderson.
Can you tell me where you were between the hours of 3 and 6 this evening then?
I was running some errands, buying utensils, that sort of thing.
Anyone to vouch for that?
Well, I suppose I can give you some names of some of the businesses, although it wasn't all appointments, so they might not have a sort of concrete reference.
That should be quite all right. Your co-worker said your job is difficult, underappreciated, that you rarely get respect, let alone to the degree you deserve. And I understand you're quite new to the role. It must be difficult to adjust to the stress, the hierarchy.
It's bearable.
Yeah, you're new to the role, so I understand if this question is difficult to answer. Has anyone at the company been acting strange lately? Worried, perhaps?
It's a busy time with the transfer and everything, and it's been difficult.
Of course, yes, but has anyone been acting strange outside of that? Does anyone stand out?
Arthur Anderson.
Can you tell me where you were between the hours of 3 and 6 this evening then?
I was in my office with Miss Bowers.
And can anyone verify this?
Well, Dawn, I suppose. Or my secretary, Wes. He had to deliver some messages before the end of our meeting.
You used to work with Miranda?
We were business partners some time ago.
And I understand she formed the Otterbourne Agency soon after she left yours?
Yeah, that's right.
That must instill some feelings of jealousy, of betrayal, no?
Of course not. It's wonderful to see a former business partner and friend succeeding.
Right, undoubtedly. Well, I suppose that brings me to my last question. You know the industry well, the structures and the rivalries that might arise. If it was your company, who might you suspect?
A board member killed right before he takes over the company. It's not hard to see who might gain from something like this. The man who lost out on the promotion.
So you think it's...
Arthur Anderson.
What were your movements today?
I was at the office. Ask anyone. Check CCTV.
And what were Rockford's movements?
No comment.
Who takes charge of Rockford while you're in the office?
No comment.
We've heard that you are particularly careful regarding who you trust with him.
No comment.
Of course you're careful. Lovely boy like that. It's just Arthur and Roman, right?
No comment.
Only them that get to walk him.
No comment.
There's evidence at the scene of the crime that a dog was present during the murder.
That's ridiculous. He was here. He'd had his bath.
And who gave him his bath? Did you?
No comment.
Okay, well, my day's been business as usual, really. Outside of the kerfuffle of the roads on the way here, but I woke up. I did my 3 S's, which is a stretch and then shower and then skincare, of course. Then I just worked from home a little. I got lost in my laptop, so I didn't end up leaving myself enough time to account for, you know, a flat tyre and then having to try to save on the spare.
Aha! You say you drove carefully in the car today. How would you know that someone could die in these conditions? Unless you saw it happen. You did it, you scumbag. You did it, and then you drove carefully so it wouldn't happen to you.
Sorry, are you accusing me? I just told you my whereabouts, and why on earth would I kill Roman?
Well, all of our evidence points to you, and information gained directly from interviews also points to you.
What? That's just preposterous. But sure, I had my issues with Roman, but I had no cause or desire to kill him just because he had no passion for the business and no right to be in the place he was in. Doesn't mean he deserved to die. And as for the others pointing towards me, of course they did. I've worked twice as hard as them for all these years for the good of the company, and they only think of themselves.
So you're telling me that you didn't do it?
Yes!
See, if I was being asked to ignore a promotion which should have gone to me, I would be more than a little angry. I can imagine going to some very extreme measures if I was in a position like that.
Well, this is just preposterous. It's ridiculous. You've got this all wrong, you bastard. What do you
Coming with me.
No, what?
The eventful evening. Honestly, I thought my biggest surprise this evening was that Dawn and I had been invited. But I suppose murder puts things into perspective. I'm glad we're here to support her through this.
Yes,
Miranda's had quite a string of bad luck when it comes to leaving speeches. Where is she, by the way?
I believe she's gone to take Rockford for a walk, to clear her mind with some fresh air. Do you have onward travel booked? I'm sure that Miranda could permit me to book through the company given the circumstances.
That's very kind, but we'll be on our way in an hour.
Well, and also it's much more comfortable here than at the station. And besides, we should like to say goodbye to Miranda before we leave.
Of course, you're welcome to stay as long as you like.
What will happen to the business now?
Well, I'm sure that Miranda and the board of directors will find a suitable replacement. Do you mind me asking what you said earlier about Miranda's bad luck with leaving speeches?
When Miranda left us at the CTA, she only intended to be gone for a sabbatical.
She felt that she'd dedicated enough of her youth to the corporate world. She wanted to live a little before accepting the promotion that had been offered. However, while travelling, she must have had a change of heart. She never returned to our agency. It was years until we heard from her again. By then, she'd founded the Otterbourne Agency and had made it such a huge success. I'd always wondered...
Oh, sorry to interrupt, but I think your ride to the station has just arrived. Would you like some assistance with your baggage?
Well, yeah, that's okay, thank you
That's
very much.
interesting. What things I forgot.
Hi Emily, how are you doing? Did they get off all right to the station? Wait, Emily, is everything okay? Slow down. Sorry, you're cracking up quite a lot. Slow down. So, sorry. So the last thing I heard you say was about train ticket and booking. Slow down. Emily, I can't quite hear you. Oh my God. Emily, are you okay? Emily, are you there? Are you there, Emily? Oh my God, Emily, if you can hear me, please just stay there. I'm going to call you an ambulance, okay? Oh God. I need an ambulance. Look, even if it was Arthur who did kill Roman, this case is far from closed. Emily is just out of hospital, severely concussed, and whole chunks of her memory are missing. Someone is trying to clear something up, and they don't mind hurting us in the process. And I think I found some new information.
Marple, you want to get over here pronto.
When I first joined the Ottoman Agency, I was immediately struck by the warm and welcoming environment you had cultivated, Miranda. I got to know you, each and every one of you, more and more as the years went on, and on my more sentimental days, I might have said we were more like a family. Perhaps this is why the company has become so infinitely successful. But it's a peculiar thing, proximity to power. One might say it brings out the worst in people. Each one of you had a motive to see Roman silenced. Delilah, with your jealousy of Miranda's successful company, a direct competitor, no less, when you had taught her all she knew, you clearly would have benefited from sowing seeds of doubt. Sowing seeds of chaos at this time of turmoil. By eliminating the next successful person in line. And so who would have suspected Emily? Her job depended on Roman. But who else had better access to Roman's schedule and diary and train times? And Miranda, well, secrets have a way of catching up with us, don't they? But there was one of you who had a motive that none of us knew, not consciously at least, except potentially one that Rockford realised. Behind that composed facade lies a secret more sinister than any of us might have imagined. Andrea, you also had access to Roman's diary, didn't you? And his online travel account. That is what Emily tried to tell me on the phone before you so luckily discovered her. Concussed and confused. And there's Miranda's mysterious disappearance all those years ago from the CTA. Delilah, you inadvertently revealed the truth about Miranda's departure. A year abroad, utterly secretive, a woman returns changed. We've all read enough Christies and Marshes to know the telltale signs of a secret child, a child she can never forget. Miranda's secret child who tracked her down, becoming her assistant, Andrea, or should I say Miss Otterbourne. Yes, it's true. Miranda, mother, you may have abandoned me, but I found my way back to you. I found a way to be useful to you, to learn from you, to lead like you, and still you constrained me to the assistant.
Darling, I felt I knew you as soon as I met you. I suspected, but I didn't know till now. Look, let's stop this now. Don't say another word. We have so much to say to each other.
You orchestrated this entire scene, didn't you? You knew that by eliminating Niels, whose favour of your mother you were infinitely jealous of, you knew that by putting a pin through Arthur's tyre, you could frame him for the murder, by making him late, eliminating all rivals to your mother's heart. And now, with Miranda retiring, you also believe the role of CEO is your birthright.
I was wondering when somebody would finally notice. Miranda's empire will be mine, or I will see that it crumbles. Miranda would still be working for Delilah's company if it wasn't for me. I am the catalyst for all of Miranda's success. Everyone's success, all of you, depends on me. It is owed to me. You dare to speak of a family? Well, only one of us is family, and the rest of you are disposable. You never did find the murder weapon, did you?
I met you when you were small, Miss Otterbourne. I knew about your child. Miranda, you weren't as good at hiding it as you thought. I made sure that your adopted family took good care of you. It wasn't until Rockford sat on your lap at the party yesterday that I realised who you were and called Paula.
Miss Otterbourne, you are under arrest for the murder of Roman with a spatula, the attempted murder of Emily, and the conspiracy to frame Arthur of murder. You do not need to say anything that would prejudice whatever.
Blood is thicker than water, they say. But goodness, does it make more of a mess?
You really nailed that. I saw from the window. Proper detective stuff. Did anyone hear an evil voice at the end?
You know, I really don't know what came over me. It was like I stepped into an episode of Poirot.
Luckily for me, you made a much prettier picture, if I may say so.
Oh, Detective, was that a terrible attempt at flirting?
That wasn't good, was it? Seriously though, great work. I've heard from the station that Arthur's about to be released. Thanks for showing us that we have the wrong man.
You know, if I were to buy you a drink, would you talk me through how to get over a murder?
Ah, thirsty work, this detective stuff. Luckily for us, I think there's nice Witherspoons around here.
Spoons? Really?
Well, don't knock it till you've tried it. I hear that every single Spoons has a different carpet, of course apart from the monkey walk in Colville and the half moon in